Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. How's everyone doing? Sort of quiet day so far. You got PayPal earnings, you got Microsoft after the close, but the big thing's the Fed meeting tomorrow. So, what are the markets gonna do? There's actually not that much to talk about. It will be starting tomorrow. Well, actually, after the close of Microsoft earnings, Microsoft already having issues, already having performance issues with 365. So thank you for putting that in too, Sterling. Good morning, Sterling. What else do we have? Good morning, Patrick. Lots of good info from Sterling in here. Good morning, Jacob. There's your PayPal results. Was a beat and a nice gap up, and there was a nice double, but it's already gone to first target pre-market. Hey, Ro, how you doing? What else? We had PG, which is down. Missed on revenue, beat on the EPS, but missed on revenue, and their organic revenue is contracting. They got Pfizer also this morning. Good morning, Martinez. Good morning, Anissa. All right. So we got Redbook come out. Redbook, which is dropping again. Redbook. So the expansion of Redbook is done. You had the home price month over month up 1% year over year, up 6.8. So housing, but housing is really slowing down. By the way, I have a home inspection tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a really busy day because you got the Fed and I got a home inspection. So, yeah, hopefully that goes well. We got Jolt's job openings this morning. We got consumer confidence, the job quits also in Dallas Fed Services index. And then remember, tomorrow is the Fed meeting. So far, you see Procter Gamble down over 6% already. Merck, there's your Pfizer up on their earnings. All your mega caps are pretty much up this morning. So that's where that sits. Groups, let me just do a quick refresh. Real estate, it looks like sort of a rotating to somewhat defensive today, except for consumer defensive, but that's down because of PG. So that's where that sits. Hey, Charles. So that's where that sits. What else we have? We have Fed watch still pause for tomorrow. It's all going to depend on the press conference and how much he telegraphs a potential cut for September. And we're in neutral mode. And there's really not much. The big thing with today was PayPal, but you guys don't just remember Microsoft after close. You have AMD. AMD already been pulling back. Yes, Starbucks. That'll be interesting from a consumer's perspective, but won't be market moving. And then tomorrow we got Boeing and Kraft Heinz. And we got MasterCard already pulling back ahead of their earnings tomorrow morning. So, hey, Richard. All right, pulling off these. Technically, this, because it confirmed, is still valid. I'm not going to be using these targets. I'm using, really, if we run up, let me change the color on this one. Really nice pullback to the 50% harmonic. So that's there. You see yesterday a couple times, and then overnight, that 50% harmonic from the pullbacks was key. So that's the key level of support. If we get back down today, 54.83. Key resistance for me is about this 55.25. If we break higher, the very key area, two key targets I'm going to be using are 55.75 area, 55.77. So right in there. And then 56.13, especially 56.13 on a 4-hour or daily closing basis. That's what I'm looking for to the upside. If we did stay more muted and took out yesterday's high, really around 55.40, 55.40, 55.41. Other than that, we still have the bigger head and shoulders pattern. Head and shoulders pattern, the rotation zone overhead. So it's got to do some pretty heavy lifting to get through a lot of overhead resistance. Not expecting that today. Maybe if Microsoft does something really big after hours. But again, you still got that Fed meeting tomorrow. This is also coming off. This has not confirmed and it's extended too far to the right. So, see what we were flagging, channeling up, pulling back down. There's nothing to watch with that right now. Very key area. You see a 62.5 right here. 60. This one right here. Right here. That's where we already hit pulled back last night lows. So that's going to be still key. 19,073.50. The harmonics have not changed from yesterday. Not changed from yesterday. To the upside, the target area on any rally is about 19,325 to 19,350 for me. If we do break above there, then the key levels, let's see what's the next level I'll be using is 37.5 harmonic for the retracement, 19,670 area, which is also this pretty key breakdown point. And then 19,933 is a 50% retracement. So that's what I'll be looking at overall in the overbid pattern for the horizontal neckline. We didn't get down yet to the second target and just getting it bounced. Remember, overhead rotation zone is very key resistance, and you have the hooking over 50 right at that 19,527 area. So on any break of the highs from yesterday, that is my very key target area. Good morning, John. What stops out the head and shoulders on the S&P? Since it hit the first target, you can lower it all the way down. So it would be a close above 56.13 or a trade intraday through 56.49. That would be the farthest away. The farthest away. That is the invalidation point. You can always have a stop closer, but that's why I prefer the term what invalidates it is because you can always move a stop closer than that, but that technically invalidates the pattern. So the Dow, the 62.5 really hurt. That's key on another rally, 41,065. Going into this morning, 40,863 area. You see that was yesterday's open, and we've so far retagged that. So that's very key. That's a 50% harmonic. If we do break down, I'm watching yesterday's low, and then key for me, besides having too many levels, where's the other level? I got to take some of these off. Hold on. I got to take some of this off. Let's just do this. There. Oops, wrong one. So the key to the downside, if we do break through yesterday's low, is 40,460. Russell, the only thing I'm watching is if we start breaking really with a follow through close below the rotation zone, but your major support's coming in about 2216 and then 2200. Resistance, a lot of selling pressure above 2291. The VIX staying elevated going into Fed meeting tomorrow. So that's what is key at this point. That's why, even if I'm expecting a more choppier day today, we could rally, we could pull back, but I'm going to be in chop mode. Especially with Microsoft after the close. DAX, not much to talk about here. A lot of these things aren't going to move. We're not getting a lot of movement till tomorrow. So there's not much to talk about. Notes are still climbing higher slowly, and yield is still dropping slowly. But it's sitting at the major support. Look at the 62.5, how well it's been holding. So that's, again, on the closing basis, what I'm paying attention to. 10-2s. We're still elevated, but not making much progress yet on that journey back to zero, so we're stalling out after the breakout. Again, that's going to be important for tomorrow. Dollar index. We confirmed we finally closed yesterday to trigger the double, so it's no longer confirmed. It's confirmed and triggered, not yet at the first target. First target area is 104.42. Then we're looking at 104.62. Crude continues to just grind lower. Remember, the target cluster is right around 74. Gold, we had contract roll. That's what the gap's for. You see, if I hit the back adjust, you can see it's pretty flat, but we have the contract roll. That's why you see the gap. Nothing's really changed. Still in consolidation. Silver, just stalling out. Trying to put in a little mini bottom here, but overhead resistance on it. We'll probably get some movement out of the metals tomorrow, especially gold. But with silver, still the probabilities are for a lower price action. Yen, finally tapping the rotation zone. No fantastic setup here. Right now, just flagging. No long-term bottoming position yet. So going to be keeping an eye. Now we've already tapped out the rotation zone, so if we rotate lower, we're going to be watching for a stronger base if these lows from the 25th hold. Bitcoin, by the way, completed the 87.5 yesterday and then came down. This is not a double top anymore because it invalidated with that spike through yesterday, but it completed the 87.5 rule. It's still, this low of about 63,500 is key. Other than that, again, not great setups. There's just not great setups ahead of the Fed meeting. So there's not much for me to talk about. The spiders, key resistance is about 547.80 and then 551.30. Minor support 544.25, and then the major support area is down around about 542.50. The Qs, very key support coming around about 461.50. Key resistance coming about 467.50. Above there, the next target would be 469.60. What do you look for at stops before it is invalidated on a double top? What do I look for? Look at for stops before it is invalidated. It all depends on I use rotation zone, I use breakdown zones or breakout zones, and I especially use key harmonics. What else? Tesla, with its Morgan Stanley ridiculous upgrade yesterday, has done nothing to invalidate the double. The invalidation point for this would be a close about 249.89. So just remember 250. Other than that, just pullback channeling after hitting the first target on the double. NVIDIA continues after hitting the first target and bouncing, rotating back down. No buy pattern setups yet. Let's take a look at PayPal. PayPal. See here. Already, this is the extended hours. Here was a double. Already, the only way this could have been traded was, earnings release. And then it already went to the first target with that. So, just keep that in mind if you're already in PayPal. It's already hit that 64.50, which again would be another intraday target, pulling back a little going into the open, but then 65.76 and 67, which would take it to the most recent very key high area. But that's something that would have had to been traded pre-market at this point. And then Microsoft, ahead of earnings. There isn't a great setup pattern, but if it does beat, target area I would be using on any gap up. First one would be about 442.80, and then if it follows through with a close, I'd be watching about 440. What is that level? 449.20 on any beats. On a miss, and with if it gaps lower, we look at this 62.5 was 418.15. No close below it yet, so I'd be watching 418.15, but on a miss, the magnet price is right down here by the 200, right around this 402, 403 area. All right, so that's about it. No point in dwelling on anything this morning since there's just not, again, there's not a lot of fantastic setups right now. So sometimes it's best to just sit on your hands, not force anything, and wait to get the Fed meeting out of the way and some more of these key earnings out of the way. Other than that, I shall talk to everyone later. Bye for now.